Alright, I don't know if y'all ever heard the story of the boy who cried wolf. What that has to do with is there's this shepherding town, and they've set this boy up to be the guard, right? For the night or whatever. Well, he's new at the job, but the problem is, every shadow he sees, he thinks is a wolf, right? So every time he sees something coming near him, he goes to the town and cries wolf. They come back and it's a rabbit. Alright. They do it again and again and again. And every time they do it, it's something other than a wolf. It's a deer, it's a this, it's a that. Okay. Then finally the wolf does show up. But this time when he goes to get the people, they don't believe him. They don't believe him. And then the wolf comes in and eats all the sheep and town's ruined. No. Okay. COVID-19 is like enemy to Austin Powers, right? And Dr. Evil. It's a situation, okay, that could go from bad to worse, but it's still basically a 2-week fever. Right? Alright. Most adults getting it won't kill them. That's crime wolf. You're acting like it's like the one in outbreak. And it's not. And paranoia over a flu-type virus and it killing the elderly, which is bad. Don't get me wrong. And those with OCPD, I ain't saying it ain't a bad thing. But it's not that bad. Right. Most adults getting it might be a rough virus, right? You might want to die. Everybody wants to die when they have a cold or virus, right? But, ain't saying a lot of people ain't dying. But comparatively, even the Spanish flu was worse than this. Because of the way it spread differently. Granted, what we're doing is helping with some of the spread. It ain't as bad. But it's still, compared to Outbreak, the boy who cried wolf. Because of what the virus is actually doing, right? And how it's actually being contained or not, right? See, you don't seem to want to focus on, like, how's it getting to Savannah, for instance, right? We have almost over 550 cases here alone. But, okay, Savannah does have the Hilton Head International Airport, right? You know what I mean, right? It does have all that back when it started too, right? But see, a few cases are being added a day, right? Who's spreading it now? How's it being spread now? It don't matter when the pandemic started. You gotta identify the source. And if it's something other than China, you gotta find that out too. It's like in Just Show House. When you have a pandemic, you gotta look at the source. How are the people getting it now? Don't matter how they got it then. How's it still popping up? I know, right? What's the source? We know it was them. But now we're practicing social distancing. Now we're using the mask and all that. And yet it's still spreading slowly, mind you. But enough that we can't no longer identify the source as being China or cruise ships. At that rate. You understand, right? Because we've dealt with all that till now too. No. With the social distancing and everything. Shouldn't that bring the cases to zero? Unless we're missing another source for the virus. Yes, you do know that. And whatever that source is, you don't want to identify. That's called stubbornness, and that too is the boy who cried wolf. You're denying that the only way it can be spread now is through a different means, right? If we done all this up to now, something else is now spreading the virus to us, and it's been out since the 1960s. That's over 5 decades. Maybe 7? No, 6. Okay, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 2020. 6 decades, right? That virus has been out. And guess how it was spread? Animal to human contact. Right. Could Fido have it? Again. I don't know. You don't want to identify Fido as a source. But if Fido is a source and it's been out since the 1960s, it ain't as bad from Fido as whatever hit in New York and California, I guess, but it's still the same similar type disease. It's still COVID-19, right? But it also might not be as severe as the one out of China, right? But they're still the same virus, right? Okay, a mutation means one COVID-19 is stronger than the other COVID-19, but both are still what? COVID-19. Yeah. And both, when you test it, look like COVID-19 under the microscope. Right. But one is from a different source, right? Now, when the strain changed in outbreak from airborne to contact, right, it spread differently when it was airborne, and the virus even looked differently, right? But if COVID-19 from 1960 and COVID out of China looked the same under a microscope, right, you can't physically tell them apart. Hello? They still look like COVID-19, right? Under the human eye as well. That's right. Right. All right. But it's starting to seem like Boy Who Cried Wolf.